In the glittering expanse of the coral reef, the ocean's creatures thrived in a swirl of color and light. Octopuses swayed their glowing tentacles under the dim sunlight filtering from above. Clownfish darted playfully between branching coral. Microbubbles shimmered as they floated to the surface, like tiny underwater jewels. The coral reef wasn't just alive, it was vibrant, until one fateful day when its peaceful rhythm was shattered. A patch of unusual rock had been revealed on the reef. But fish nurse Gilly knew better. Her sharp, cautious eyes caught something strange about the rock, a faint, pulsating glow and a texture unlike anything she'd seen before. It was alive and it was leaking. Soon, the reef began to change. The vibrant colors dulled as whispers spread about odd behavior among the fish. The ever-smiling butterfly fish became oddly silent. The sparkling lionfish flickered, losing their glow. And Gilly's patients arrived in her watery clinic sporting unusual sores and peculiar glossy eyes. At first, she wrote it off as stress from rising ocean temperatures. Only later did she recognize that something darker was brewing. "I need blood samples from all reef species," Gilly announced to the community gathered in the coral amphitheater. The octopus chief loomed behind her, his iridescent skin shifting from blue-green to fiery orange at the severity of her voice. "There's something spreading. I don't know what it is, but we need to find out who's infected, and fast." Her medical solution wasn't conventional by ocean standards. Inspired by an old human diving crew's discarded horror movie snippet, she developed a test, heating blood samples with a hot wire to see how they reacted. She called it the Scolding Wire Protocol. Among the first to volunteer was Bubbles, the reef's friendly pufferfish. As Nurse Gilly dipped the sickle-shaped wire into his blood sample, everyone watched in tense silence. The liquid pooled quietly for a moment, but suddenly bubbled violently, erupting into tiny alien tendrils that writhed and hissed. The crowd screamed. Bubbles puffed up in panic before transforming, his smooth spherical body contorting into jagged spikes and his friendly grin morphing into a grotesque snarl. He was no longer Bubbles, but a creature of the thing. The octopus chief, propelled into hysteria, bellowed with rage as his skin flared bright red. "They've infiltrated the reef. The infected must be eradicated." With a swift motion, he summoned King Neptune's royal guard. From the depths, fleets of cyborg eel stealth submarines rose, their sleek forms cutting through the water like harpoons. The battle began at twilight. Schools of angelfish armed with sharpened coral formed a defensive front, assisted by hammerhead shark berserkers. Above them, cyborg eels whirred and sliced through the infected hordes, their electric pulses lighting up the battlefield. The thing-transformed fish were horrifying in their unpredictability, twisting, growing extra limbs, and turning translucent. Each one fought with inhuman ferocity, forcing the reef creatures to band together like never before. Gilly, normally a pacifist, surprised everyone when she joined the fight, a syringe in one fin and a coral dagger in the other. She cornered pockets of infected fish one by one, jabbing them in critical nerve spots to paralyze their monstrous stages. "Hold them still! Scalding protocol for confirmation!" she shouted, tirelessly working to identify and separate the transformed from the innocent. A final strike came when the octopus chief, glowing like the sunlight through stained glass, enveloped the alien meteorite with his massive tentacles and crushed it to dust. The thing's infection evaporated into a milky vapor as it dissolved into the ocean currents. The reef was saved. Days later, King Neptune and Queen Amphitrite presided over a grand victory banquet. The table was piled high with delectable dishes, including coral salads, seaweed wraps, and the much-anticipated crab cakes. Gilly raised a skeptical brow at the platter. "Plant-based crab meat," she asked. "Really?" The queen smirked cryptically. "We'll let you decide after the first bite." As laughter filled the reef once again and the ocean's colors reignited, fish nurse Gilly stayed cautious. The battle had been won, but the deep sea held many secrets. Some, she knew, would resurface.